Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we are coming to you from the Rebel Outpost on the planet Hoth. I'm Tim. Daisy's out in the garage trying to stay warm out here, and today we're going to be talking about this thing right here. This is a torque wrench. You have to have a torque wrench in your toolkit. All of the companies require it so that you can tighten the lug nuts properly on your units when you pick them up. You can't trust that the teenagers at the factory have tightened those lug nuts properly, and you really don't want your wheel falling off while you're going down the road. So before you take off, when you're doing your pre-trip inspection, you have to tighten up all of your lug nuts. So this is kind of the tool, the go-to tool for everybody to tighten those lug nuts. Now if you already know how one of these operates and how to use one, then kind of skip ahead a little bit. But I'm going to go over kind of how they work and how to use them properly. There is some confusion on how to operate these things, and I see a lot of people doing it wrong. Now a torque wrench has a bunch of mechanics in here, and there's a bunch of magic going on inside here that we're not really going to get into, but basically it's a device that will make a noise, typically a click. Now there's several kinds that you can get. Some are beepers, some are vibration, some are electronic and fancy. And I have several different kinds, but I pulled this one out because this is the most common that you're going to see people using in the RV transport industry. It's inexpensive, pretty easy to use, and it doesn't require any batteries or anything like that. They're also pretty durable, so you can kind of chuck them under your seat or whatever, and you don't have to worry about breaking a screen on like the digital ones or whatever. It's a calibrated device that when you set it right and you're using it, this one is going to click when it gets to the proper torque. So if you set it to 100 foot-pounds and you're trying to tighten up a wheel, when it gets to 100 foot-pounds, you'll hear an audible click. It won't ratchet like that, but there'll be a loud click and you'll know that it's tight enough. And then you go to the next lug nut. The biggest thing that I see is people using these things improperly. When you've got this on a lug, and we'll go out into the garage and I'll kind of show you a little bit better, but when you got this thing on a lug, I see people that are holding it like this and they're doing it like that, or they've got their hand on the end and they're twisting it that way, and that's the improper way to use a torque wrench. The torque wrench is intended to have one hand right where the knurling is, and you hold it right there. That way the measured distance from here to the pivot point is calibrated properly and you'll do the right torque. If you're grabbing it here, you're going to end up putting the wrong torque on because the force applied by this hand, not at this point, is going to be in the wrong spot. Now if you have to go really tight and you have to use two hands, then you can put one hand on there and put the other hand over it and then use two hands to pull it that way. That will still allow it to work properly. But if you grab it here and grab it here, it won't tighten properly. Or if you grab it and hold on to the end, then it won't tighten properly either. The upside to these are they're pretty inexpensive. You can get them at just about any hardware store. You can get them at Harbor Freight. You can get them just about any auto parts store. You can get them all over the place. The downside to these is that they're slow. So it takes a while to get all of the lug nuts tight. If you've got a trailer that has 2 axles, there's 5 lug nuts on each wheel, it takes a little while. Most of the trailers nowadays though are having 6, and I've seen trailers that have 8 lug nuts. So it takes quite a while to tighten all the lug nuts when you're going around and doing this. So I use something a little bit different. I use this. This is called a torque stick. You buy them in a kit that looks like this. You can buy them individually also, but you get them in a kit that looks like this. Each one of these different torque sticks are calibrated to a different tightness. This particular one, it says right on it, 100 foot-pounds. It's also got the Newton meters on there, but we're not Newton meter people, so we're going to go with foot-pounds. This one says 120 foot-pounds. If you look at this white one, if I can get it out of there, it says 140 foot-pounds. So that's for a bigger lug nut, a bigger vehicle, or what have you. You need to know what the tightness is supposed to be on your trailer. and it usually says near the tongue jack, or sometimes it even says over by the wheels. But you need to know how tight your lug nuts have to go. In general, most of the trailers are going to be about 100 to 120 foot-pounds. So if you have and they come in different colors. This is the gray one, which is the 120 foot-pound one. If you use that, you'll be fine. If the trailer was supposed to be 100 foot-pounds and you put it at 120, then it's not that big of a deal. If it was supposed to be 120 and you put it at 80, then that's a bigger deal. But you can have a little bit of a range there of tightness. These also go all the way down. This particular set goes all the way down to, what does this one say, 65 foot-pounds. So that's for like a little Kia or something like that. Now how these work is that this device is actually a spring. It is a torsion bar basically. So it will twist at a calibrated force. This particular one will twist at 120 foot-pounds. So if I put 500 foot-pounds into it, on the other end, it's only going to allow 120 foot-pounds to come out, because all the rest of that force is going to be taken by twisting this bar. It doesn't seem like they'll twist, but they will twist just like a torsion bar on a truck. Now the way you use these is you have to have an impact wrench. So I use the Ryobi one. It has 600 foot-pounds of taking off torque, and it has 450 foot-pounds of putting on torque. When you buy a impact, or if you already have an impact, your impact has to go higher than what you're going to be torquing the thing down to. If this gun only, and I've got one out in the garage, it only puts out about 150 foot-pounds tightening, then that's not really going to be high enough to make this bar twist. So you want one that's strong enough to twist the bar properly. Then the way they operate is you just stick this on to the end of your impact, and then you take your socket and you put it on the end of that, and you go at it and you just let it hammer. When it's putting it on, you let it hammer for about 3 to 5 seconds on each lug nut. You want to make sure that the socket quits spinning, and then you know it's set to 120 foot-pounds, and it's perfect. Now keep in mind, there is a pattern that you have to do on the lug nuts. People call it the star pattern, but the star pattern really only works if you have 5 lug nuts, because then you can make a star. If you have 6, then it's kind of a crisscross pattern, or if you have 4, it's a crisscross pattern, or if you have 8, it's also a crisscross pattern. I'll put the different patterns up on the screen here. Now if you have an impact and torque stick, it also works with the handy dandy flip sockets. I love the flip sockets. You got one socket of one size there, and it's a different size on the other end. So I carry this one, and it works with the bigger lug nuts and with the smaller lug nuts. So you can stick that right on there, and then you can use it that way too. The upside to this obviously is speed and convenience. It's all about getting it done fast. When you're hooking up, you're going through weight distribution bars and all that, you've got a lot to do. Tightening the lug nuts can take a long time. If you're on a triple axle with 8 lugs, you're going to be there a long time tightening your lug nuts down. So this is fast. If you're in the snow or it's raining, it's just nasty out, this is fast. You're going to be saving a whole lot of time and a whole lot of heartache. The downside, the first one is cost. If you don't already have a good impact, then you'll have to purchase an impact with a good battery. You also have to purchase the kit. I got this kit at Harbor Freight for about 60 bucks. Not really super expensive. Like I said, you can go on Amazon and just buy individual sticks, because pretty much you're only going to need maybe 2 or 3, and you can just get those and you can cut the price down a little bit that way. And the other downside is you cannot use chrome thin wall sockets on it. You never want to use a chrome deep well, thin well, or thin wall socket on an impact. These aren't strong enough, and they can split down the side, and typically, almost always, when people are putting lug nuts on, they're holding the socket and letting it spin in their hand, just kind of extra support. And if it splits down the side, then that sharp edge is going to be a meat grinder to your hand, so you don't want that. So you want to not use the chrome sockets, and you want to use an impact socket, the black impact socket. All your flip sockets are going to be impact sockets, so you don't really have to worry about that. If you don't have a flip socket, go get one. Another thing that I guess could be a downside is this will only work if the battery is up to snuff. It needs to be charged up. If you've got a half flat battery and your impact isn't putting out what it's supposed to be putting out, then it won't work as well. So you want to make sure that your battery is good and charged. This one is charged. So I keep a bunch of these in the truck because I have all kinds of tools of these Ryobis, and I just interchange the batteries, so I always have a good battery. The upside to this is that you can use chrome sockets, which are cheap, or you can use the impact socket. Doesn't matter. As long as it's a socket that goes on there and fits your lug nut, you can use it. So let's talk about how to set this to your desired torque. So I'm going to do my best to show you the clearest I can show you on this. On the end of here, we have a locking knob. We have the place where we're going to be holding it. And then we have all of our torque settings here. And this is in foot-pounds. On the other side, it's Newton meters, but again, we don't live there. So we're going to deal with the foot-pounds. Now what you're going to do is when you turn this knob, this whole sleeve is going to start sliding up, and it's going to get to these numbers here. And you want the edge of this to get to one of these little indicators, these little marks. And the marks then have numbers next to them. So if we're going to go to 100 foot-pounds over here, we want to get it to that mark right there. And then down here, there are individual numbers. So you can get it to 101 foot-pounds or 102 foot-pounds or whatever it is. But we're typically just going to stick with the 0. So we're going to try to get this thing up to 100 foot-pounds. So we give it a twist. And now I've got this little edge lined up with that mark that goes to this 100 foot-pounds. And it's on 0. So now we're set to 100 foot-pounds. Then you go over here and you tighten this little knob down. And that makes it so when you're tightening it, this doesn't turn. You can't turn that now when that's tightened down. And then you go and tighten your lug nuts. Now, after you're done tightening the lug nuts, you have to, every single time, unscrew this little knob and then set this back to 0. If you don't set it back to 0, it keeps a preload on that spring, and you don't want that spring to be preloaded all the time. It will wear it out sooner. So you have to set this, loosen it all the way up and set it back down to 0 or whatever. And then again, tighten this knob up. If you don't tighten that knob up, then this can, going down the road, vibrate, and it'll unscrew all the way, and then all the guts inside of there will fall off, and you don't want that to happen either. So make sure you tighten that knob down when you're done using it. So let's go out to the garage and I'll show you how this works, and you can hear the clicking and things like that. Okay, so now we're here at the truck and we're going to put the socket on there and then hold it properly. And you hear that click, and that tells you that it's tight enough. You don't have to push down. If you need extra leverage, you can pull towards you. It's easier to push down though, because your body doesn't move. You can use your body weight. You can't just jerk on it though, because then it gives it shock force, and you don't want shock force, you want continuous tightening force. But you don't want to do this with two hands and do it, because it won't be at the right spot. Now, I've got this set lower than what these lug nuts are supposed to be, just so it'll click. But you just put it on each one, and you go and you click all the way around. So let's see the speed difference between using one of these and using the impact to tighten a wheel on your pre-trip inspection. Okay, so now we'll see how fast they are side by side. Get over here and get your stuff. Okay,
It's cold out here.
But why do I have to do the torque wrench? because you have the gloves and the hat. Okay. Are you ready? Yeah. All right, here we go. On your mark, get set, go. That's pretty slow. Oh, forgot to set the torque wrench back to 0. All right. So as you can see, the speed difference between these two, it's really hands down winner right here. I'm going to go with this forever. I've been using torque sticks for, I don't know, 20 years maybe, and I'm just going to continue to use them. They work great. They're super fast. They're used in every dealership on the planet to tighten wheels. So for me, it's just the best way to go. I've already got the impact and I've already got the batteries. All I had to do is buy the torque sticks. And if you've got a good impact, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be a Ryobi one. It can be a Milwaukee or a Snap-on or whatever. It just has to be one of their higher end ones that will put out enough torque to make the torque stick actually work. If you didn't get the Hoth reference, then I don't think that Finley, or also known as FN2187, or Finn, is going to like you very much. So I hope this helps you out. If it did, then click the like button. Maybe subscribe to the channel so you can learn some other stuff and kind of follow along as we travel all over this great country of ours. And as always, have safe travels, and I hope to see you on the road.